If you're thinking about doing freediving course, you're probably wondering what I can expect on this course. And in today's video, I want to explain how we teaching freediving courses and beginner freediving courses at the Kaizen Freediving, the freediving school on KOH TAO Thailand. Our freediving courses 2.5 days. We starting first day in midday, and the first part is a freediving theory. Before that, we do paperwork, like standard paperwork when you are checking like medical, liability release, etc. But then it's followed by comprehensive freediving theory session. What you're learning in this freediving theory, it is the physiology of the breath holding. It is how we can able to hold the breath, what's happening in our organism during the breath holds, how we can make our freediving practice safe, how we can make it efficient, etc., etc. Roughly for a couple of hours, your instructor gonna cover all the aspects of the freediving, which is gonna make you more confident in the activity which you're planning to do in the near future. Of course, currently there are such option available as e-learning. It is when you're receiving the ebook and can study online before you start the freediving course. We also have this option. If you book the course with us, then we can send you the ebook and then you can start study by yourself on your own pace. You can refresh the information a few times. But even if you did e-learning, we still prefer to refresh, to discuss most important freediving theory in a class with the instructor. Also part of the freediving theory is going to be discussion and practice equalization for freediving. We're going to discuss the difference between Valsalva and Frenzel equalization. We're going to give you different exercises which can help you to learn Frenzel equalization a little bit faster, a little bit more effective. We're going to also encourage you to practice this exercise on your own at home. But again, because the freediving equalization is a big part of freediving, this is why we're going to spend quite a lot of time on this topic to discuss the different nuances. And at the very end of the freediving session, you're going to practice some basic breathing technique, which helps you to be more relaxed before the breath hold. So you're going to practice how to breathe before the breath hold and how to breathe actually after the breath hold, which is also super important. Okay, when the theory session is finally over, then you're going to grab the freediving equipment and go to our first pool session in the same day. At the first pool session, we are practicing static apnea breath hold. It is when you're holding your breath, not moving, not doing anything, just holding for a certain amount of time. You're going to practice how to do safety for another freediver who do a static apnea breath hold. And you're also going to practice some emergency skills, such as what to do if your partner a different emergency, how to do a rescue in this case. And we finish the pool session with practicing swimming on the surface. Why this is important, in our opinion, is because swimming on the surface with long fins, you already start working on your kicking technique. You already start correcting some mistakes, which is going to be helpful for the next pool session. The second pool session is going to be on the second day. This pool session is going to be more about dynamic apnea. You're going to learn how to swim underwater using the long fins in the most efficient and safe way. Another skills is going to be how to do safety for another freediver who do dynamic apnea. And also because our pool are deep ends, we can practice some skills which are optional, but are going to be really helpful for the open water session. These skills are vertical kicking, duck diving, and also because we have a float in our buoy, we can also practicing such a open water techniques such as free immersion and constant weight. Again, this is be more like an introduction. The actual practice, of course, happens in the ocean, but this introduction helps to prepare our students for their first open water session. Most of the time, from my experience and experience of other instructors in our school, the most stressful moment for students is their first open water session. The more prepared they are for the first open water session, the better. Vertical kicking, duck diving, how to start free immersion, how to check the buoyancy. This is a really helpful optional skills in the pool, which is normally preparing our students for first open water session. Okay, so far you did a theory session and 2 pool sessions. And now finally time for the most exciting part of freediving course, diving in the ocean. So we typically from the boat, we don't need to drive too far away, especially for the first level. It is maybe 5 minutes of driving on the boat. Then we can do our first open water session. What are you learning in an open water session? You're learning a couple of most common techniques. One technique is a free immersion technique. This is when you're pulling yourself down, regular equalizing, and then after you're reaching certain depths, whatever depths, then you turn and you're pulling yourself up without equalizing to the surface. You don't need to equalize on the way up. So this technique considered slightly more easier to learn for the beginner freediver because it doesn't involve such complicated aspects as duck diving or kicking. But still, there are a lot of technical elements in this discipline. If you want to learn more about free immersion technique, I'm going to put the link in the description below. You can check. I have one video specifically explaining the free immersion technique, how to make it more effective. So after you're practicing some free immersion dives, maybe for 20-30 minutes, then it's going to be time for the main technique for the freediving course. Is a constant weight technique. This is when you are diving down, when you're descending using your fins, you're kicking down, and then you turn and you're kicking up. Doesn't matter which technique you practice, free immersion or constant weight, your freediving instructor is going to be always diving with you and always doing a safety for you, making sure that you're safe, making sure that your technique is effective, etc., etc. You're going to receive the plan for the dive before the dive, and also you're going to receive some feedback after the dive is over. Between the dives, you're going to have a certain amount of time for rest. This is called surface interval, and it should be at least 3-4 times longer compared to your dive duration, but most of the time it's going to be much longer because usually first level students are a little bit more nervous and they require a little bit more rest time on the surface before the dive, which is totally fine. After the first open water session is over, we're coming back to the school. If needed, we're practicing some, again, equalization exercises, maybe correcting some aspects of technique, and then the day is over. And finally, the last day of the course, which is day number 3 in our case, we have again 2 sessions per day. In the morning, we're practicing breathing stretching exercises. Really useful for freediving, stretching for thoracic cavity, stretching for diaphragm, etc. And also some breathing exercise, which is going to further improve your ability to relax before the breath. Also, we're going to probably practice some equalization exercise because, again, as I said a few minutes ago, the most difficult part of freediving is equalization. So this is why we spend a lot of time whenever we have a chance to improving our students' ability to equalize. And then finally, open water session number 2 afternoon, where we practice again free immersion and constant weight, but we're also going to practicing how to do safety for another freediver who do his attempt and how to do a rescue in case of emergency. This is it about the course. If you pass all the requirements on the course, then you're going to be certified as a PADI freediver, which is equivalent of other systems level 1 freediving. To summarize what I want to say about our courses, how our approach is, and what I'm thinking is the best approach. Our priority number 1 is the safety. Number 2 is improving the technique, improving the relaxation, making any technique, whether it is a dynamic or static or free immersion or constant weight, as effective as possible, making sure that the student relax during the breath hold, before the breath hold, making sure that he is recovering properly after the breath hold. So there is no pushing involved, especially on the first level. There should be 0 pushing. It should be as little stress as possible. Mainly emphasize again on the technique, on the relaxation, both physical relaxation, mental relaxation, etc., etc. And one more time, I would repeat myself, our main priority is the safety of our student. This is why you don't need to worry about is it safe or not, because this is our concern. This is what we're going to provide. And again, I'm not saying that we are really special in this case. Most of the freediving schools, most of the good freediving schools do the same. They heavily focused on the safety of their students. And if you're wondering why you should choose Kaizen Freediving, not any other freediving center for your first level, it's my belief. I can be, of course, subjective, but I believe that we provide the highest quality of education. We provide the highest focus on the safety. We provide the best experience, right? Again, I don't want to downgrade any other freediving schools. I personally visited many freediving schools which provide excellent service, which provides really good safety approach, quality of education, etc., etc. So this is why I'm not saying that all other schools are bad. Many excellent schools, but we in our school always try to do a little bit step further and improve it constantly everything, every part of our courses, whether it is exercising in a classroom, whether it is exercising in a pool, in the ocean. We constantly improving and constantly providing better and better service. So the sky is only the limit. So this is why I guarantee if you choose Kaizen Freediving, you're going to receive best experience on a freediving course, which is possible. So if it seems interesting for you, then hopefully I'm going to see you on our school. Our school, Kaizen Freediving, is on KOH TAO in Thailand. If you're coming to our school after this video, let me know that you came to our school specifically after this video. I'm gonna give you a little surprise. This is just like a checking how many people are gonna watch until the end of this video. Hopefully my explanation was good enough, and hopefully I'm gonna see you on KOH TAO at one point.